Imagine standing on the edge of a desert. The horizon shimmers, and something massive begins to rise from the sea. Not a palace, not a fortress, but a floating dome of stars resting gently atop a city of white. It's not a mirage. It's the Louvre Abu Dhabi, the museum that dared to rewrite what a museum could be in the very heart of the Arabian Gulf. But let me take you back to the start of this architectural tale. This was never meant to be just another cultural import. This was a vision born from the desert winds, the shadow of the palm tree, and the timeless streets of the Arabian Medina. When Jean Nouvel, France's radical architect, was invited to design this building, he didn't come with blueprints. He came with a question. What does light mean in the desert? He wandered the narrow alleys of old souks. He stood beneath date palms and watched sunlight splinter into rays through their leaves. And there he found it, the metaphor that would become the soul of the Louvre Abu Dhabi. He dreamed of a place where architecture wouldn't dominate, but drift, where a museum wouldn't impose itself, but emerge like a natural island. A city beneath a dome, just like the ancient Arab towns once huddled under shared roofs for shade, safety, and storytelling. The result? A metallic sky of 8 layered lattices, 7,850 interlocking stars that don't just sit, they hover above the ground, above the galleries, above expectation itself. As the desert sun arcs across the sky, the dome transforms into a live painting, casting a rain of light that moves, dances, disappears. This building doesn't stand still. Building a cultural marvel is one thing, but building one on the sea where tides meet technology and art meets engineering, that's where the real story begins. When Jean Nouvel envisioned the museum as a city rising from the sea, engineers had to ask, how do you anchor a 24,000-ton structure that floats? The solution? A man-made platform, reinforced with sheet piling and cofferdams, was built directly into the Gulf. Think of it like constructing an island, brick by brick, while holding back the sea. Steel-reinforced piles were drilled deep into the seabed, anchoring the structure like roots, so it could resist waves, salt, and time. The dome, poetic, weightless in appearance, is one of the heaviest domes ever built. It weighs over 7,500 tons, heavier than the Eiffel Tower. But Nouvel didn't want it to feel heavy. He wanted it to float. So how did they do it? Using a brilliant technique, 4 hidden piers buried among the gallery structures support the entire dome. You can't see them, but they carry everything. Engineers use computer simulations to calculate load transfers, allowing the dome to rest without pressing down on the museum below. It's a delicate balance between mass and illusion, architecture that defies gravity without cheating physics. Creating the rain of light wasn't just a poetic idea, it was a mathematical nightmare. To get the light to fall through the dome, just as it does through palm leaves in the Medina, required designing 7,850 metal stars in 8 different layers, each aligned perfectly. If one star misaligns, the pattern breaks. Advanced parametric design tools and custom algorithms were used to plot every star, every overlap, every opening. The result? A system that filters sunlight into dynamic, celestial shadows that move with the sun, just like in nature. The desert is unforgiving. Extreme heat, salty air, high humidity. Yet the Louvre Abu Dhabi is cool, comfortable, and efficient. How? It's designed like the old Arab cities, Shaded walkways, thick walls, narrow lanes. The dome itself acts as a passive cooling device. By blocking direct sunlight, while allowing air and light to pass, it creates a natural microclimate. No need to over-condition the space. The building works with nature, not against it. BIM technology was used from day one. Every screw, pipe, and panel was digitally tested before a single brick was laid. That's how you build a museum on the sea, with zero room for error. In the end, what rose from the waters of Sayadiyat Island wasn't just a museum. It was a solution to every challenge that stood between imagination and reality. A floating dome, a rain of light, a whisper of the future, and a reminder that the greatest buildings are never just built. They are engineered into existence. But this was never just about art. This was about a nation, the United Arab Emirates, making a declaration that it would shape its future not just with steel and oil, but with culture, architecture, and light. And it came with challenges. Critics called it a sellout, a franchise. Some said it was Paris in disguise. But step beneath that dome, you realize this isn't the Louvre in Abu Dhabi. This is Abu Dhabi's lore. Walk its quiet corridors and you'll hear whispers of medieval prayers, Renaissance brushstrokes, Persian miniatures, and the silent awe of the future. Nouvel didn't build a museum. He built a conversation across continents and centuries. He built a story that begins with light falling through palm leaves and ends with light falling on the face of a child seeing Da Vinci for the first time. So when you look at the Louvre Abu Dhabi, don't just admire its structure, listen to it.